previous part ended when, after returning to the Ice Palace, Azzy-Dahaka, the Frost Dragon Lord, is greeted by her attendant. She reports that the meeting at the Primordial Core went smoothly and that Swallow remains inactive. However, she reveals a new threat. Hex Sable of the Sand Tomb has allied with Kurak. Let's kick off today's recap, but before we dive in, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The scene shifted to the Red Dragon raid force, advancing swiftly toward Pelstein Fortress. At the front rode their leader, Quarry, clad in imposing dragon-forged armor that glinted under the dimming sky. His presence alone instilled resolve in the troops behind him. As they marched, one of his subordinates, Raymay, trotted closer and called out, "Squad leader, may I ask something?" Quarry didn't look back. "What is it?" "Make it quick." Raymay hesitated, then asked, "What's your relationship with Ethelbrias?" Quarry paused for a beat before replying flatly, "It's nothing much. You could say we were childhood friends." The response stirred quiet murmurs among the soldiers, clearly unexpected news. "We grew up in the same village," Quarry added. "That's all." Just then, he spotted a signboard ahead and pointed. "Cliff ahead. I'll break off and go straight down. The rest of you take the longer route and regroup at the territory. Continue the advance." "Understood." The Red Dragon squad responded in unison. Without another word, Quarry launched himself off the cliff. Below lay the Pelstein fortress, surrounded by fortified wooden barricades hastily built to reinforce the perimeter. As he descended, the garrison erupted in alarm. Cries echoed from the watchtower. "There's movement at the rear! But the orcs should be in the front!" Their lord, Magino, rushed out. "What's going on? Why the noise? The enemy should be at the gates." A tower guard called down. "Someone just dropped from the sky. It happened too fast to identify." Magino frowned. "Isn't that Rie's direction? Could be a diplomatic envoy from the capital?" But another soldier interjected. "It doesn't look like a human envoy at all." Magino scoffed. "Don't be ridiculous. If it looks human, it's human. End of discussion." "No, milord. You'll understand when you see him. He doesn't feel human," the soldier insisted. Then they all caught sight of Quarry's massive frame stepping through the clearing dust. Even Magino was momentarily taken aback, but he quickly collected himself. "Stand down!" he shouted. "He's no enemy." Magino dropped to his knees, his voice trembling with relief. "Dragon Slayer Quarry. Thank the heavens. We're saved. I didn't believe the rumors, but you really came." The nearby soldiers murmured in awe. "Quarry. From the S-class subjugation force, the Red Dragon?" Later, overlooking the enemy encampment from the battlements, Quarry asked, "Is that the main body of the orc force?" Magino nodded. "Yes. They subdued Pelstein in just 5 hours. We didn't even have time to evacuate all the residents. Our defenses are rushed." Quarry observed the makeshift barricades and muttered, "For something thrown together, this isn't bad. But the more I look, the stranger it gets. Even with numbers, siege warfare isn't about brute force. Capturing Pelstein in 5 hours, it makes no sense." He continued, more to himself now. "They have no siege engines. Pelstein is a fortress designed to protect the Empire. It's not the same as a small border post. 5 hours, it's absurd. Carlyle, the Lord of Pelstein, isn't one to surrender easily. He'd die before dishonoring the Empire. Did they use magic to breach the walls?" But Quarry quickly dismissed the thought. "Kurak, the orc chieftain of Nerkumbel, is their greatest asset. But I've never heard of him using magic. Could Ethelbrias know something? Was he hiding something all along?" He shook off the thought. "It doesn't matter. A defense plan is already in motion." Magino blinked. "Defense? Not retreat?" Quarry turned to him, firm and cold. "Pardon my bluntness, but if you have no intention of fighting, then hand over complete command of your forces to me." Later, at the Red Dragon camp, Quarry briefed his squad. "Tonight we strike first." The troops responded eagerly. "Now that's more like us. Waiting's not our thing." "What's the plan?" "We'll form a small strike unit. Burn down the enemy barracks and retreat immediately." A soldier asked. "Won't burning their food hurt morale but risk provoking a premature attack?" "Then we'll focus only on troop barracks. That'll buy us time for reinforcements from the capital." "How many in the squad?" "Including me, 7. Keep it tight." The troops began raising their hands, volunteering. Rain May stepped forward. Security will be tight. Cardi smirked. We're not aiming for stealth. If we're discovered mid-mission, we'll cut down every orc in our path and return. Later, as Cardi and Raymay observed the enemy camp from a ridge, dragons flitted through the sky. Cardi narrowed his eyes. Summoned beasts? These guys raise some strange creatures. They're not a nation, they're a horde, Raymay replied. There must be dozens of species mixed in. She handed him a parchment. Here's a rough layout of their camp. I used familiars to scout it, but those beasts interfered. It's not perfect. Cardi nodded. Good work. Raymay glanced sideways. By the way, what were you like as a kid? Cardi blinked. Where did that come from? Your little comment about being childhood friends with Ethelbriez has the whole squad talking. Cardi sighed. Should have kept quiet. I wasn't anything special. Not next to him. Raymay smiled faintly. Sounds like you two were close. Maybe. But it was probably one-sided. Ethelbriez always had his feet on the ground. I chased dreams. He chased reality. I guess that means I still have to keep dreaming. Raymay chuckled. Is that so? Is that why you're so dense? She let out an exaggerated sigh. Again with this? Cardi groaned. You should try facing reality too, squad leader. Like marriage, for example. Before he could respond, Magino approached, accompanied by another figure. Sir Cardi, there's someone I'd like you to meet. An A-class subjugation force leader stationed nearby. They've come to offer assistance. Cardi gave a brief nod. Very well. The new arrival, a silver-haired warrior, bowed. I've heard of your accomplishments, Sir Cardi. Please command us as you see fit. Later that night, Cardi sat alone in his tent, unease gnawing at him. Too quiet, he thought. Too still for war. Ethelbriez, you'd have crafted a flawless plan even now. His mind drifted to an old memory. The difference between being able to think and not being able to think is vast, Cardi. Young Ethelbriez had once said. Really? I'm not convinced. I just act. Why overthink it? Because someone has to think. I'm not like you. I don't move without a plan. For the future I envision, I'll do the thinking, you just execute what I give you. The memory was interrupted by the silver-haired subjugation leader stepping into the tent. Sir Cardi, may I speak? Who are you? The leader you met earlier. I'm resting. I've heard the stories, that before an operation you rest to prepare your body and mind. It's nothing to admire. What do you want? I couldn't help overhearing your conversation with Lord Magino about the raid tonight. Cardi's expression darkened. That's our operation. There's nothing to discuss. Oh, it's not about joining. It's just, if that operation succeeds, it would be inconvenient. For me. The air turned cold. You'll have to die here, Sir Cardi. Before Cardi could respond, a black-cloaked assassin appeared behind him and drove a blade into his back. But to their shock, Cardi didn't fall. Instead, he slowly rose to his feet, the blade still embedded. The assassin trembled. I know I struck true, so why? Cardi straightened fully and turned his gaze toward them, a cold fire in his eyes. I knew it. 5 hours was far too suspicious. There's a traitor in our ranks. He stepped forward, voice low and thunderous. Now tell me, who do you think I am? Suddenly, flames erupted from Cardi's tent, casting a harsh orange glow across the camp. Members of the Red Dragon raid force turned in alarm. What's going on? Why is the captain's tent on fire? One of them shouted, rushing toward Raymay. What happened? Before she could answer, Cardi emerged from the burning tent. His armor was scorched, and in one hand, he held the limp body of the subjugation leader by the neck. Don't panic, he said calmly. I'm the one who lit the fire. Everyone fell silent at the sight of the charred corpse dangling from his grip. Who is that? A raid member asked. There's another one inside, Cardi replied. Though by now, he's likely nothing but ash. He dropped the body and stepped forward, his voice sharp. Change of plans? These two were only the beginning. There are others, more of their kind in the area. They call themselves paladins. And we're going to root out every last one. He pulled a badge from his coat and tossed it toward Fable. Fable. Lakna. Hove. Samani. Lashu. You 5 will go meet the landlord. Deal with any resistance along the way. Get to him, no matter what. Fable caught the badge midair. And if he asks why we're there? Show him that and tell him I found it. Cardi said. He's tied to this somehow. The traitors came through him. Interrogate him and uncover everything: names, locations, alliances. I won't place any limits on how far you can go. I want the traitors exposed. Every last one. Fable nodded grimly. What do we do once we get the information? We wipe them out, Cardi said without hesitation. All of them. Don't underestimate them. They're on par with an A-rank raid force. Stay sharp. Any other orders, sir? None. Move out. Understood, Fable said, and with that, the 5 of them departed at once toward the landlord's estate. Rain May turned to Cardi. Captain, what about the nighttime raid on the orc camp? Should we cancel? No, Cardi answered. We go as planned. But only the 2 of us will carry it out. Rain May gave a curt nod. Your order is my command. Good. Spread the rest of our forces across the region. Have them shadow anyone acting suspiciously. A nearby raid member protested. Captain, that's reckless. At the very least, let us accompany you. Cardi looked around, his eyes intense. The paladins are working with the orcs. Our ambush plan has likely been compromised. If we want any chance of success, we have to strike now, before the traitors warn them. This won't take long. I'll return in 30 minutes, and make it grand. The other saluted. Best of luck, Captain. Later, Cardi and Rain May lay hidden behind a rock overlooking the orc camp. Smoke curled lazily above the huts. A few orc sentries wandered unaware. Rain May whispered, There aren't many guards. This should be more than enough. Cardi nodded. How far can you cast from here? Intermediate spells? No problem. The shamans might resist those, Cardi said. Let's move closer. We'll need to be within range for advanced spells. As they shifted position, Rain May paused. Wait, Captain, you're injured, aren't you? Cardi glanced down, then waved it off. It's just a scratch. I'm fine. Rain May frowned. That's no scratch. Don't act tough. That kind of wound could be serious. He turned away. We don't have time for this. Let's go. Creeping closer to the camp, Rain May began casting an advanced spell. But before she could finish, an orc shaman spotted them. Enemy magic incoming! They're on the hill! Aim for the caster! Rain May sighed. They noticed faster than expected. Finish the spell. Fire the moment you're done, Cardi ordered. A squad of orcs charged the hill, one roaring. Kill the human shaman! Cardi stepped between them. I'll protect you. Rain May smiled. Then, like always, I'll make it nice and flashy. As Cardi cut down the charging orcs, Rain May finished her incantation. She unleashed Vulcan's rain, a blazing inferno that engulfed the camp in flames. Watching the destruction, Rain May exhaled. It's done. We should retreat. Cardi stood still. Go. Rain May turned to him. What are you talking about? His expression hardened. You'll take over command. I'm not coming back. From the blaze, a massive figure emerged, an orc gatekeeper, towering and armored, stepping through the fire like it was nothing. Cardi stared at him. That one, taking him down is worth more than killing 1,000 grunts. Rain May's face tensed. But you're not at full strength. That's a gatekeeper of the great evil dungeons. Cardi drew his massive blade. I've already told you, I won't die. Rain May stepped beside him. But if you do, everything ends, Cardi. Don't worry. I'll win. Then let's win and go back together. If it comes to it, Cardi muttered. I'll use that. Rain May's tone sharpened. You won't. I won't let you. We just need to win, remember? Cardi laughed softly. Fine. Then go all out from the very start. The gatekeeper lunged toward them, and the battle began. Elsewhere, within the primordial core, Swallow and his companions watched the scene through Ursabet's enchanted mirrors. Swallow narrowed his eyes. That red-haired human is holding his own better than I expected. Patrick nodded. Right? He's skilled. You watching Mel's? Mel's scowled. Don't talk to me, traitorous bonehead. Patrick shrugged. That human, he's called the Empire's Dragon Slayer. Mel's raised an eyebrow. You mean the woman? She's pretty decent with magic. No, Patrick said with a grin. I meant the knight. Then he laughed. But whatever. Renee clapped her hands. I'm quite moved. Look at them, lowly humans, yet they understand romance. A man and a woman fighting back to back, trusting one another with their lives, and in that crucible of battle, love begins to bloom. She turned dramatically. Well? What do you think of that, Mr. Swallow? The battlefield romance. The stirring passion between warrior and mage. Swallow looked visibly uncomfortable. I think I've had enough popcorn for today. Meanwhile, at the orcs' main camp. From afar, the flickering blaze of a distant fire lit up the horizon. The orcs gathered, murmuring among themselves. The tent's on fire! Is that magic? One asked, squinting toward the distant glow. Just then, Shaman Daru emerged from his own tent, his face calm. It's just as the commander predicted. They really came here, he said, his voice tinged with quiet amazement. I didn't expect it to line up so precisely, but now, the real question is, what will you do? Commander Karak approached him, arms crossed. You're referring to the preparations? He asked. Dari gave a slight nod. We followed your instructions to the letter. Karak's expression tightened. Good. Then let's move. At the Primordial core, Mel's watched the battle from the magical glass mirror, clearly unsettled. I just don't get it, she muttered. Patrick glanced at her. Don't get what? Mel's gestured toward the ongoing conflict. I mean, look at them. After pulling off a successful surprise attack, wouldn't it make more sense to retreat right away? Why stay and keep fighting? It just seems reckless. Patrick sighed. You're not wrong. But I'm sure that human had his reasons. He probably saw the true scale of the orcs' forces. Maybe he realized there was no way the defenders could hold out alone. The orcs could have won simply by sheer numbers. And yet, they bothered to build a forward base. Why? To let their reinforcements rest. It's intimidation, setting up close to the humans to make them panic before the final blow. He continued. With numbers like that, most lesser soldiers would break before fighting even starts. That's why the humans stayed behind, to take down the gatekeeper of the great evil dungeons, boost morale, and by even a single day of delay against the orcs' advance. Mel scoffed. For someone who looks like a brainless brute, he's oddly strategic. Patrick shook his head. Not exactly. As a warrior, maybe his decision was noble. But as a commander? It was reckless to the point of stupidity. Mel's frowned. What do you mean? Patrick's voice darkened. He underestimated Kurak. No commander should leave their post for too long, right, boss? Swallow, silent until now, muttered. I wasn't asleep. Meanwhile, at the battlefield, Cardi drove his sword into the ground to stabilize himself, catching his breath. Before him lay the lifeless body of the monstrous gatekeeper. He turned to Rain Mei, who stood nearby, barely managing to remain on her feet. You all right? He asked. Rain Mei nodded weakly. As expected of a gatekeeper. I nearly ran out of mana. Cardi checked her condition. Can you still use cure? Once the flames died down, the enemy will charge in. We need to retreat fast. Rain Mei answered with effort. Yes, sir. Cardi immediately shifted into a defensive stance. Then I'll begin preparations. But as the wall of fire gradually dissipated, no orcs came rushing through. The battlefield remained eerily still. Rain Mei narrowed her eyes. What's going on? Why isn't anyone attacking? Their captain just died, shouldn't they be swarming us? Cardi's expression shifted. Don't tell me, they went after the main force? Rain Mei's eyes widened. They moved while the commander was away, while we were distracted with the gatekeeper? Cardi clenched his fists. Damn it! They used the gatekeeper as bait. Without wasting another second, Rain Mei activated her teleportation spell. The two vanished in a flash, and reappeared at the devastated main camp. What greeted them was carnage. The camp lay in ruin, their allies butchered. Bodies of soldiers and civilians alike littered the ground. The remaining orcs spotted them. Humans! They used magic! Kill them! They roared. Cardi, gritting his teeth in fury, charged at the oncoming wave. Rain Mei! Stay close, don't fall behind! Captain Cardi! She shouted, trying to calm him. But inside she realized the truth, he's lost in his guilt. Wounded, exhausted from the last battle, and yet he keeps pushing forward. Suddenly Cardi barked out. Rain Mei! I'm heading to the landlord's quarters. You, find the evacuees and join our unit. She moved to protest, but he cut her off. I'm fine. What they need right now isn't me, it's you, Vice Captain Rain Mei. You can still save lives. Tears welled in her eyes as she bit her lip and prepared another teleportation spell. If you die, I'll never forgive you, Cardi. Cardi gave a weary laugh. You hear that, orcs? Seems I'm not allowed to die, so I'll leave that honor to you. Later, at the landlord's residence. After fending off wave after wave of orcs, Cardi arrived at the manor. He glanced at his wristwatch. Only one squad leader's signal remained active. Only one? Did the rest fall before even making it here? Something's wrong. Was the night raid a mistake? No. The orc simply responded better than expected. If someone's to blame, it's me. He kicked the door open and stepped inside. Anyone still alive? He shouted. From the shadows, a figure emerged, one of the Holy Sea's paladins. You made it, the paladin said calmly. Shame you're late. The last survivor was breathing until moments ago. Then, with a sinister grin, the paladin gestured to the corpse in his grasp. I assume you were the one who snapped one of our paladins' necks earlier? I simply returned the favor. Cardi's eyes widened in rage. You bastard! His armor responded to his fury, shifting and reshaping into the blazing form of the red dragon. The paladin chuckled. So that's the fabled red dragon armor. In that case, let's put it to the test, against one of the Holy Sea's 36 masterpieces. As he removed his bulky outer armor, a tight combat suit was revealed underneath, forged for maximum precision and speed.
We got plenty more where that came from. Hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for even more amazing content.